First, notice that this is not a product. It is not a sum of two functions. It is not a quotient. It's a function of a function. It's a single function. It's a function of a function. So we need to use the chain rule. The outermost function is something to the fifth. It looks like x to the fifth power, except that instead of x, you have a function of x. So the first step is 5, whatever the function is, to the fourth. So we don't touch the function inside, but then we remind ourselves that it's not x. It's a function of x, and that's when we use the chain rule. So we go times d by dx of the inner function. The next step, this is done, so we don't touch this expression. The differentiation is done. But now we need to differentiate this function right here. Notice that it's a sum of two functions. So we use the sum rule. And what is that? Put a parenthesis because now you're going to break this into a sum. So it's the derivative of radical x squared plus 1 plus the derivative of the second function 2x. So it's a sum function. So the derivative of a sum is the sum of the derivatives. Next, this remains unchanged because it's an expression. We don't need to differentiate it. Now we have to look at the functions that need to be differentiated. The easier of the two is the second one. D by dx of 2x is 2 times 1, which is 2. The derivative of square root of x squared plus 1. Now that looks like square root of x, except that instead of x, you have a function of x. So d by dx of radical x is 1 over 2 radical x. So that's equal to 1 over 2 radical x squared plus 1 times d by dx of the inner function, which is x squared plus 1. So this is equal to 5 radical x squared plus 1 plus 2x to the fourth power times 1 over 2 radical x squared plus 1 remains as it is. Now we have to find the derivative of x squared plus 1. So that is 2x plus 0. So that's 2x. Notice that this is added. Remember that. These two are multiplied, so you're allowed to cancel the 2's. That's equal to 5 radical x squared plus 1 plus 2x to the fourth power. This is x over radical x squared plus 1 plus 2.